Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jayo Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jayo Radha Radhanath Radha Radhanath Radhe Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, Premanand. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from the Nectar of Devotion. We're continuing from Kartik. We'll try and finish Nectar of Devotion this year, hopefully, or maybe early next year. So the Nectar of Devotion, or the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is a complete science of Bhakti Yoga. Right? And then in the so in the preface, the Nectar of Devotion is a summary study of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which was written in Sanskrit by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. He was the chief of the 6 Goswamis who were direct disciples of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he first met Lord Chaitanya, Srila Rupa Goswami was engaged as a minister in the Mohammedan government of Bengal. The rest you all know, right? So this is a summary study of the original book. Srila Prabhupada translated it into English for us. There is no Sanskrit verses in this book, but the original book has Sanskrit verses and Devanagari. There are 2 or 3 more Nectar of Devotions exactly based on Srila Rupa Goswami's Nectar of Devotion. So we'll glorify the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. First, Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno Sadharma Samstapakam Lokanam Hita Karino Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanya Karo Radha Krishna Pada Ravinda Bhajananda Mataliko Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugo Sri Jiva Gopalako. The 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan are all on that frame. They all dressed in white. They are the main Goswamis of Vrindavan. One of them is Rupa Goswami. So the text today, is the chapter today is the techniques of hearing and remembering. Right? There's a technique in hearing and remembering. So the first of the 9 processes of the bhakti to devotional service is what? You are all chanting Hare Krishna, I hope. Besides Sham. What is the first process? Hearing is the first one. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Hearing, if you hear, then you'll chant, right? Your teacher says 1 + 1 is 2, you heard, right? Then you repeat it, you'll chant. Then you remember it, 1 + 1 is 2. Right? So that's hearing, Shravanam, Kirtanam. Kirtanam means to repeat, right? And then Smaranam, then you'll remember. Okay? Those are the 3 main steps of the 9 steps to devotional service. So let's start. The beginning of Krishna consciousness and devotional service is hearing, right? In Sanskrit called Shravanam. All people should be given a chance to come and join devotional parties so they may hear. Excuse me a bit. Please put your phones off or put it on silent. Krishna gets disturbed. This hearing is very important for progressing in Krishna consciousness. When one links his ears to give oral reception to the transcendental vibrations, he can quickly become purified and cleansed in the heart. That's the potency of hearing, right? I was reading the other day, Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto. Prabhupada is saying in his purport that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra contains all the Shastras, right? All the shlokas of the Shastras, all the conclusions of the Shastra are in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. So you don't have to chant any other mantra, okay? There's a book called Srila Prabhupada's Kirtan Standards, right? There are some observations there. But like Maharaj is saying, you don't have to chant any other mantra besides the Hare Krishna mantra, right? In the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there's only Radha and Krishna. And that is the conclusion of all the Vedas, every single Veda. Mataji was quoting a verse just now. Ye yatha mam prabhadyante tam stadeva bhajamiyam. Mama vartma anuvartante manushya partha sarvasaha. Right? Mama vartma anuvartante means that everybody follows my path in all respects. Krishna says, as you surrender to me, I will reciprocate with you accordingly. So you chant his holy name day and night. Right? You go to bed chanting his name and get up chanting his name. So you'll remember Krishna all the time. But even if you're not chanting, then he says, Mama Vartma Anu Vartante. He says, everyone follows me in all respects. So whatever you're chanting, eventually the conclusion is that you have to come to Krishna consciousness. Right? You have to come to Krishna. You have to surrender to Krishna. All are paths, different paths. But you have to, sometime in your lifetime, in your millions of lifetimes or whatever, you will have to surrender to Krishna. Mama Vartmanu Vartante. So Lord Chaitanya has affirmed that that this hearing is important. It cleanses the heart of the contaminated soul so that becomes quickly qualified to enter into devotional service and understand Krishna consciousness. Krishna gives you everything. One thing he doesn't give easily is devotional service. Those who are doing devotional service, that's a peak of your what do you call it, sadhana. We are all sadhana bhaktis at the moment. We're not there on the top. So whenever you get a chance to do some devotional service, be ready to do it. Right? Krishna doesn't award that to anybody easily. Right? So when you are given, that's Krishna's mercy. Guru Krishna Prasada Paya, Bhakti Lata Beach. Bhakti Lata, the creeper of devotional service. So once you get an opportunity, Prabhu come and do this service, don't say, oh, my sons come to my house, my mother-in-laws come. No, come. You don't stay the whole day. You can stay a couple of hours and go. So, read that again. It cleanses the heart of the contaminated soul. We are contaminated at the moment. The soul is so minute, it's 100,000, the tip of a hair. That's how big the soul is. So it's not possible to see the soul, right? But still it's contaminated. Why? Because it's covered by this body. Dehinosmin yatha dehe komaram yovanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhirastatra namoyhati. Dehino means we are inside this contaminated body, and you all know what this body is, right? What this body does to you, right? What happens to you if you don't do said functions. You don't sleep, you'll go mad. You don't eat, you'll die. Understand? You don't drink water, you'll suffer. You'll die of thirst. So, we are contaminated by this body. Now, the first lesson in Krishna consciousness is what? Prabhus? This is supposed to be an interactive class, right? I can just read the whole thing. There's 5 pages here, but we must go home with something that we can think about. The first lesson in Krishna consciousness is, I am not this body. I am spirit, soul. That we have to understand first. Self-realization is just the first step. Like Prabhu was saying the other day, learning that song is very nice, but understanding that song is the most important thing. Learning Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses, is wonderful. But to live Bhagavad Gita is another story. Can you live Bhagavad Gita? Yat karosi yat astasi yat johosi dadasi yat. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, you have to do for Krishna. Yat tapasyasi tu kauteya tat kurusva mad arpanam, he says. Surrender that to me. Whatever you do, you're working or whatever you're doing. Surrender it to me first and you'll become purified. 1866, what he says? Sarvadharmam parichaga mamekam sharanam vraja. Sharanam vraja means go to Vrindavan. Vraja means to go. Surrender to him. Aham tvam sarva papa bhyo. Pap, everybody got pap. Everybody is sinful. We were speaking last night about Kali Yuga. Kalo Shudra Sambhava. We are all born as Shudras in this age of Kali. Nobody is pure besides Prabhupada. Nobody is 100% pure. In every endeavor in this material world, there is some fault. You'll know what endeavor means, right? Whatever you try, like Mother Yashoda, endeavor, Krishna rewarded her with mercy. That 2 fingers too short means endeavor and Krishna's mercy. Mother Yashoda's endeavor and Krishna's mercy. Right? Without that, Mother Yashoda will never tie him. So it makes you qualified to enter into devotional service and understand Krishna consciousness. In the Garud Puran, the stress on hearing is expressed very nicely. It is said there, the state of conditional life in this material world is just like that of a man lying unconscious. Right? We are unconscious at the moment. Prabhupada says just now, right? We are unconscious. Having been bitten by a snake, right? He says that you don't die immediately when a snake bites you. Right? This is because both unconscious states can be ended by the sound of a mantra. In the early days, when people had potency, when they had Shakti, with a mantra they could cure you of a snake bite. Now you need antivenom. If you don't get it in time, you bye-bye. Huh? So, when a man is snake bitten, he does not die immediately, but first becomes unconscious and remains in a comatose condition. Comatose, you all know what it means, eh? He's in a coma. He's almost in a coma, full coma. Anyone who is in the material world is also sleeping, as he is ignorant of his actual self or his actual duty and his relationship with God. You all know your duties, right? Dharma means duty. It doesn't mean religion. It doesn't mean Sanatana Dharma. It means your duty. When Sri Sanatana Goswami met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Navadip or Mayapur, he asked the Lord, "My Lord, what am I doing here? What am I supposed to be doing here? What is my position?" Mahaprabhu says to him, what? Jivera Sarupahaya Krishnera Nityadas. We eternally Krishna's servants. Srila Prabhupada in his purport to the Maha Mantra in the books of the Vaishnavas, it says that eternally we are Krishna conscious, right? Because we are covered with this body, we've forgotten that we are originally Krishna conscious. Now we have to reawaken your Krishna consciousness. Anyone who is in this material world is also sleeping, as he is ignorant of his actual self or his actual duty and his relationship with God. So materialistic life means that one is bitten by the snake of Maya. Maya, you know, it's illusion. And thus, without any Krishna consciousness, he is almost dead. So those of you who are sitting here, you're alive, right? Those who are outside there, they're dead. Those who think that Krishna consciousness is not important, right? You're almost dead. This is Bhakti Rasamrita. Srila Rupa Goswami I'm reading. So take it seriously, please. Now, the so-called dead man bitten by a snake can be brought back to life by the chanting of some mantra. And the mantra is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Similarly, one can be brought back into Krishna consciousness from the deadly, unconscious state of material life by hearing of the Maha Mantra. Like I said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. In the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 29th chapter, verse 40, the importance of hearing of the pastimes of the Lord, stated by Shukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. My dear king, once you stay at a place where the great acharyas, holy teachers speak about transcendental activities of the Lord, and one should give some oral reception to the nectarian river flowing from the moon-like faces of such great personalities. Right? Everybody goes to India to bathe in the Ganga. Right? Why? They want to offload all the sins in the Ganga, right? Okay. Go purify yourself. Right? But the sages, they don't go to purify themselves in the Ganga, they already purify. So they go there to take your sins and purify, get rid of the Ganga of all the sins. So great sages like Srila Prabhupada, Rupa Goswami, the Sad Goswamis, they go to the Ganga to purify the Ganga. That's how powerful these sages are. If someone eagerly continues to hear such transcendental sounds, then certainly he will become freed from all material hunger, thirst, fear, and lamentation, as well as all illusions of materialistic existence. I was reading about, you'll know His Grace, at least His Holiness Keshava Swami Maharaj. You'll heard of him, he's on YouTube quite a bit. He was so busy reading some book, right, that he forgot to eat 9 hours later. That's absorption in Krishna consciousness. That you forget to eat, you forget to sleep. That's Krishna consciousness. Right? So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also recommended this process of hearing as a means of self-realization in the present age of Kali. In this age, it is a means, it's very difficult to follow thoroughly the regulative principles and studies of the Vedas, which were formally recommended. However, if one gives oral reception to the sound vibrated by great devotees and acharyas, that alone would give him relief from all material contamination. Therefore, it is a recommendation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one should simply hear from authorities who are actually devotees of the Lord. Hearing from professional men will not help. If we hear from those who are actually self-realized, then the nectarian rivers like those which are flowing on the moon planet will flow into our ears. This is the metaphor used about this verse. So one thing, each verse in the Sanskrit part of the Srila Rupa Goswami's original book, right? Every verse and every word has a meaning and a translation to it, right? Every word has like we have transliterations, word for word meaning, right? Every word has a sentence to it attached, what it actually means in the original book. And then there's one book, it's entirely only the verses of the Nectar of Devotion. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, a materialistic person can give up his material hankerings only by becoming situated in Krishna consciousness. Unless one finds a superior engagement, he will not be able to give up this inferior engagement. In the material world, everyone is engaged in the illusory activities of the inferior energy. But when one is given the opportunity to relish the activities of the superior energy performed by Krishna, then he forgets all his lesser pleasures. When Krishna speaks on the battlefield of Kurukshetra to the materialist person, it appears that this is simply talk between two friends. But actually, it is a river of nectar flowing down from the mouth of Sri Krishna. Arjuna gave oral reception to such vibrations, and thus he became freed from all the illusions of material problems. Right? There was His Grace Gaurangadas. You heard of Gaurangadas? He's from GVV, Govardhan Eco Village. So he was saying, right, that there's something they don't have in GEV, right? And somebody promised somebody that we'll cook that for Prashad. And this place where they could get that stuff it's called Pao. I don't know, Pao or something it's called, right? So that thing is very far away from the GEV. So now he said, no, we can't do it. Now he runs a major, very huge kitchen in that temple, right? So what happened, one of the devotees told him, no, Prabhu, you can do it. Right? No, you can do it. Now this is like, it's an overnight trip from that place to the temple. And the weather was, as usual, it was horrible, right? And it's far away. And the truck is like traveling the whole night. By the time the program had finished, that path was still not there. So Prabhu is saying, he was provoked. Right? He was provoked into doing something that he was not supposed to do. Right? He knows he can't do that in a hurry. But the people had started already queuing after, you know how we queue up for Prasadam, right? They had already started queuing. And Prabhu went outside and he see these people are already queued. But luckily enough, that stuff came just in time for them to, and the truck driver, all he did was he just parked the truck and he ran away, right? And Prabhu was saying he got provoked, right? So just like that in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna, people are saying that, there's a lot of speakers on the Bhagavad Gita, right? They're saying that Krishna provoked Arjuna into fighting. You all have read Bhagavad Gita, right? Studied too, right? Some of you. Did he provoke Arjuna? You know what provoke means, right? Hold on. You can do it, Prabhu. And you take on the challenge. You know it's going to be difficult, but you take the challenge on. Did Krishna provoke Arjuna to fight? Sorry, who's speaking, Prabhu? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that part. Yeah. There's another verse also in the 18th chapter. He says to Arjuna, after all that instruction is given him, right? Then he says to Arjuna, think on this, deliberate on my instructions carefully. Yat karas, and then do as you desire. Karisya vachanam tava, he says, Arjuna says later. But he says, beginning in the first, verse 63, he says, do as you desire now. Yat ichhasi tatha kuru, it means. Right? He says, do as you desire. All the instructions is given him. Nearly 600 and something verses, right? He's instructed Arjuna. But still he said to him, do as you desire. Why? Because Arjuna is individual spirit soul. He's got his individuality. He can decide now, shall I fight? Shall I accept Krishna's instructions or shall I not fight? Just like that, you're sitting here, right? You can choose to wake up and walk away, isn't it? But you'll choose to sit. So Arjuna in the 73rd verse, he says, my Lord, I will do as you desire. Now that my moha means illusion, has been dispelled, I will do as you desire. So we have to listen to Krishna. So in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter, we got how many minutes? Couple minutes, right? In the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter, verse 15, it is stated, a person who desires unalloyed devotional service to Lord Krishna, who is praised by transcendental sound vibrations, should always hear about his glorification and transcendental qualities. This will surely kill all kinds of inauspiciousness in the heart. There's 2 verses there from the Bhagavad Gita. One is from the, at least, Rasamrita Sindhu. A person who desires unalloyed devotional service to Lord Krishna. Anya bilasa sita sunyam. Abhilas means desire. Right? Anya means no desires. Right? Asita sunyam. Shunyam means must be void of all desires. That is one of the verses. The other verse is text. Chapter 10. Bhagavad Gita text. No. He says, always hear about his glorification and transcendental quality. Chapter 10, text 9. Machita madgata prana bodayantascha parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanticha ramanticha. Kathayanti means speaking about Krishna. What happens to you when you hear a Krishna katha? You get happy. Tushyanti, you get satisfied. Ramanti means you get joyful. Right? That's the second verse. In the 10th canto, expecting the Lord's mercy, in my book at home, Pundarik Prabhu says, you will get the Lord's mercy. You know, when you're studying that thing, you write stories, right? So in the 10th canto, the 14th chapter, verse 8, it is said, my dear Lord, any person who is constantly awaiting your causeless mercy to be bestowed upon him and who goes on suffering the resultant actions of his past deeds. I was speaking to one Mataji yesterday. Was it yesterday or Friday? She said, I don't know why God is doing this to me, man. She's not doing it. You're suffering the resultant of your past misdeeds. Right? You desired to come here. There's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita also, I forget. It was your desire that you wished to come here. Even to the temple, it was your desire in the morning, or you're preparing from the other day to come. You're going to come Sunday love feast, right? And see Lord Jagannath. It is your desire, your own desire. Because Krishna doesn't interfere with your independence. He didn't interfere with Arjuna's independence. Although Arjuna is his constant companion. Right? In every incarnation, Arjuna is there in some form or the other. So, offering a respectful obeisances from the core of his heart, he is surely eligible to become liberated, for it has become his rightful claim. If he accepts all the miseries that come as Krishna's mercy, he will get Krishna's mercy. This statement of Srimad Bhagavatam should be the guide for all devotees. A devotee should not expect immediate relief from reactions of his past misdeed. No conditioned soul is free from such reactionary experiences. Every action has a reaction, sometimes opposite reaction too. Because material existence means continued suffering or enjoying of past activities. If one has finished his material activities, then there is no more birth. So try and finish it in this lifetime. Whatever you desire, finish that. Chant Hare Krishna, those desires will be gone. Right? But desire cannot be, killed off completely. There has to be desire to serve Krishna, to desire to serve the devotees, the desire to serve Srila Prabhupada. Those are positive desires. Right? The negative desires means what our material things, I want this, I want that, I want everything. So therefore, as soon as one becomes perfect in Krishna conscious activities, he is not going to take birth in this material world. A devotee who is not perfectly freed from resultant actions should therefore continue to act in Krishna consciousness seriously, even though there may be so many impediments. Right? When such impediments arise, you should simply think of Krishna and expect his mercy. And you will get his mercy. I promise you. Meditate on him day and night. You will get his mercy. Meditate on the devotees day and night, on the Vaishnavas day and night. You will get the mercy. Narada Muni, the pastime, Kuberatma Jo Bhakta Padha Murte Vayadpa. What Prabhu explained? Krishna had nothing to do with the sons of Kubera. He didn't, there was no pious deed that they did for Krishna. They didn't even take Krishna's names. But Krishna had to come and save them. Why? You were here Friday? You heard? Why did he come? No. Why? Why did Krishna save those two boys? Yes. And the devotee was? Narad Rishi, yeah. He was his pure devotee. Just like that, Prabhupada said that I will come back. If I have to come back, I will come back to take those who didn't make it back to Golok Vrindavan. He says he's got the back door key. He'll take you back. Once you're on the path, you don't have to worry. You are going back home to Godhead. You will not take a human birth again. Right? So be serious. Be sincere at least. Right? When you're chanting, put effort into your chanting. Be sincere. We cannot make it perfect. We can't chant like Prabhupada. But chant sincerely. If you chant sincerely, Krishna sees your sincerity. The Vaishnava sees your sincerity and they help you along. Okay? When such impediments arise, you should simply think of Krishna and expect his. That is the only solace. If the devotee passes his day in that spirit, it is certain that he is going to be promoted to the abode of the Lord. Simple. Simple. Prabhupada, he said there's 4 no's and 1 yes. Find out what the 4 no's are, right? Now come next week or one of the days you must tell me what those 4 no's are and 1 yes. So if a devotee passes his days in that spirit, it is certain that he is going to be promoted to the abode of the Lord. By such activities, he earns his claims to enter into the kingdom of God. The exact word used in this verse is Daya Bhakt, right? Like a son is entitled to the inheritance of his father. When his father dies, his son is entitled to the inheritance like that. That's what it says. Daya Bhakt refers to a son becoming the lawful inheritor of the property of the father. In a similar way, a pure devotee who is prepared to undergo all kinds of tribulations in executing Krishna conscious duties, become lawfully qualified to enter into the transcendental abode. Srila Prabhupada was walking on the streets in New York City with a bedroom sandals, right? And New York City gets cold in winter. It gets seriously cold in winter. He had no place to stay. And yet today, he's the owner of thousands of There's 600 or 800 temples, and there are farms, preaching centers all over the world. He had no money. The boy he was staying with was a drug addict, right? One night he got so out of this world, right? And he used to keep his food in the same fridge as the boy used to keep his cat food, right? And suddenly, have you all seen drug addicts, how they behave? Anybody saw? They go off the track completely. Prabhupada had to run out from the place. So read about Prabhupada, see what he went through. Prabhupada's Lila Amrita is there, you can read partly there. And then Prabhupada's Prabhupada Vani, this one called. You can read there, or the Acharya. You can go onto YouTube and see that. What Prabhupada went through to create ISKCON. He didn't just get it on a platter that he sat under the tree in Tompkins Square Park and he chanted Hare Krishna. No. He had 3 heart attacks. Not 2. He had 2 on the boat and 1. He nearly died, and they took him to Vrindavan. He said, take me back to Vrindavan. I want to die in Vrindavan. But the devotees prayed. His disciples prayed. They said, no, Prabhupada. We don't want you to go. And he comes back to, I think it's Los Angeles. And he created ISKCON. So this is not done overnight. It is not done easily. I think, be grateful. So remembrance. We said, hearing was the first one, right? The second one is chanting. The third, expecting the Lord's mercy, was the third one. The fourth one is remembrance. Some way or the other, if someone establishes in his mind his continuous relationship with Krishna, this relationship is called remembrance. About this remembrance, there's a nice statement in the Vishnu Puran where it is said, simply by remembering your Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities become eligible for all kinds of auspiciousness. Therefore, let me always remember the Lord who is unborn, eternal. In the Padma Puran, the same remembrance is explained as follows. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Krishna, because if someone remembers him, either at the time of death or during his span of life, he becomes freed from all sinful reactions. Now in Kali Yuga, it is not so easy to remember Krishna at the time of death, isn't it? King Kulukshekra, he was one of the saints from South India. He said to Lord Krishna that, please my Lord, while I'm still young, while I can still chant your name, let me die. Right? Because when I'm gone old, phlegm will come into my throat and I won't be able to speak. How am I going to say your name? Let me die now, while I can still remember your name. That's the greatness of devotees. That's the potency of devotees. To meditate, this other one is the meditation, the other heading. To meditate means to engage the mind in thinking of the form of the Lord. The Abhadarastakam says nice forms of the Lord, isn't it? Every verse shows a different form of the Lord. What's his state is, how he looks. Right? The qualities of the Lord, the activities of the Lord, and the service of the Lord. Everything is there in the Dhammadarastakam, right? Meditation does not mean anything impersonal or void. According to Vedic literature, meditation is always on the form of Vishnu. Vishnu means Krishna, right? If you meditate or try to keep your head empty, you'll fall asleep, isn't it? Close your eyes and try and meditate. Close your eyes and chant too, you fall asleep. Right? We all fall asleep, right? Wake up 4 o'clock in the morning and try and chant. You fell asleep. You get up and see you only did 2 rounds. Right? Okay? So focus. Right? Meditate. In the Nrsimha Puran, there is a statement about the meditation on the form of the Lord. It is said there, meditation focuses on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has been accepted as transcendental and beyond the experience of material pain and pleasure. By such meditation, even one who is grossly miscreant can be delivered from the sinful reactions of his life. I'm going to read as quick as possible, right? We got one page more. In other words, no one can enter into the kingdom of God without being freed from all sinful reactions. Right? On our own, we cannot be freed from sinful reactions. We have to have someone to guide us, right? To clear us of the sinful reactions. Reactions are going to be there. But there's someone who takes your sinful reactions and offer it to Krishna. Right? He says, like 1866 says, Am tvam sarva papabhyo mokshasyami masucha. Masucha means don't worry. Just surrender to me. I'll take all your sins. Right? A person who is always engaged in meditation on the sweet pastimes and wonderful activities of the Lord surely becomes freed from all material contamination. In some of the Puranas, the evidence is given that if someone is simply meditating on devotional activities, he has achieved the desired result and has seen face to face the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You can see Krishna face to face. You chant, all you have to do is chant your rounds, follow the 4 regulative principles, and beg for devotional service as much as you can, right? And come here and you will see Krishna face to face. When you get up in the morning, you will see Krishna face to face. Srila Prabhupada used to see Krishna. He used to come and talk to the deities and ask them, are they treating you well? Are they treating you well? He should come stand and talk to them. So there's another nice one. Right? One of the devotees, the white devotees, unlike our Indian boys, right, and girls, they don't ask questions. Our Indian people don't ask questions, right? Fact is fact. They won't even interrupt you. Prabhu, you said this. Right. So this white boy asks, Prabhupada, are there donkeys in Vrindavan, in Golok Vrindavan? What Prabhupada said? He said, I didn't see any. So, in this connection, there is a story in the Brahma Vivad Puran that in the city of Pratisthanapur in South India, there was once a Brahmana who was not very well to do, but who nevertheless satisfied in himself, thinking that it is because of his past misdeeds and by the desire of Krishna that he did not get sufficient money and opulence. So he was not at all sorry for his poor material position, and he used to live very peacefully. He was very open-hearted, and sometimes he went to hear some lectures delivered by great realized souls. 5 minutes. At one such meeting, while he was very faithfully hearing about Vaishnava activities, he was informed that these activities can be performed even by meditation. In other words, if a person is unable to actually perform Vaishnava activities physically, he can meditate upon the Vaishnava activities and thereby acquire all of the same results. Like the Prabhu is doing Aarti or the Mataji doing Aarti, right? You meditate on him doing the Aarti and you meditate on Krishna. You follow all his moves. You get the same benefit as he's getting by doing the Aarti. Right? You're not doing it physically, he's doing it physically. But mentally, if you meditate on him doing the Aarti, you'll get the same benefit. So, because the Brahman was not very well to do financially, he decided that he would simply meditate on grand royal devotional activities. And he began this business thus. Sometimes he would take his bath in the river Godavari. Godavari is in South India. Right, Prabhu? After taking his bath, he would sit in a secluded place on the bank of the river, and by practicing the yoga exercises of pranayama, the usual breathing exercises. Pranayama means you're breathing in, control your breathing. He would concentrate his mind. These breathing exercises are meant to mechanically fix the mind upon a particular subject. Mechanically. Right? Not transcendentally, mechanically. That is a result of breathing exercise and also of the different sitting positions of yoga. Formerly, even quite ordinary persons used to know how to fix the mind upon the remembrance of the Lord. And so the Brahmana was doing this. When he fixed the form of the Lord in his mind, he began to imagine his meditations. He began to imagine in his meditations that he was dressing the Lord very nicely in costly clothing with ornaments, helmets, and other paraphernalia. Then he offered this his respectful obeisances by bowing down before the Lord. After finishing the dressing, he began to imagine that he was cleaning the temple very nicely. After cleansing the temple, he imagined that he had many water jugs made of gold, silver, and he took all those jugs to the river and filled them with the holy water. Not only did he collect water from Godavari, but he also collected from the Ganges, Yamuna, Narmada, and Kaveri. Generally, a Vaishnava, while worshipping the Lord, collects water from all these rivers by mantra chanting. When we offering Achmanam or offering water to the Lord, there are mantras to purify the water, right? Because it comes through a tap. Right? Those that the Brahmanas do in the kitchen. This Brahmana, instead of chanting some mantra, imagines that he was physically securing water from all these rivers in the golden and silver water pot. Then he collected all kinds of paraphernalia for worship, fruit, flowers, incense, sandalwood pulp. He collected everything. It's the last page. Let's hope we finish. 5 minutes. To place before the deity. All these waters, flowers, and sensory articles were very nicely offered to the deities to their satisfaction. Then he offered arti, and with the regulative principles, he finished all these activities in the correct worshiping method. Right? There's a method to worship the Lord. Right? He would daily execute similar performances as his routine work, and he continued to do so for many, many years. Then one day the Brahmana imagined in his meditation that he had prepared some sweet rice with milk and sugar and offered the preparation to the deity. However, he was not very satisfied with the offering because the sweet rice had been prepared recently and it was still very hot. Right? This preparation, sweet rice, should not be taken hot. Prabhupada says the cooler the sweet rice, the better its taste. So because the sweet rice has been prepared by the Brahmana very recently, he wanted to touch it so that he could know whether it was fit for eating by the Lord. Remember, he is meditating on it, not actually doing it. Right? As soon as he touched the sweet rice pot with his finger, he immediately was burnt by the heat of the pot. That's the potency of the meditation. Right? In this way, his meditation broke. Now, when he looked at his finger, he saw that it was burnt, and he was wondering in astonishment how this could have happened, because he was simply meditating on touching the hot, sweet rice. He never thought that his finger would actually become burnt. So in meditation also, right, you get the benefit. You meditate on Krishna. That's all. Meditate on the devotees. Meditate positive things on the devotees, right? Positive things. Don't say, oh, Prabhu, you wore the wrong dhoti today. Your tilak is not straight. Positive thing. We finished, you got one. While he was thinking like this in Vaikuntha, Lord Narayan, seated with the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, began to smile humorously. On seeing this smiling of the Lord, all the goddesses of fortune attending to the Lord became very curious and asked Lord Narayan, why was he smiling? The Lord, however, did not reply to the inquisitiveness, but instead immediately sent for the Brahmana. An airplane sent from Vaikuntha immediately brought the Brahmana into Lord Narayan's presence. When the Brahmana was thus present before the Lord, the goddesses of fortune, the Lord explained the whole story. The Brahmana was fortunate enough to get an eternal place in Vaikuntha in association of the Lord and his Lakshmis. This shows the Lord is all-pervading in spite of his being locally situated in his abode. Although the Lord was present in Vaikuntha, he was present also in the heart of the Brahmana. When he was meditating on the worshipping process. Thus, we can understand that things offered by the devotees, even in meditation, are accepted by the Lord, and they can help one achieve the desired results. It's said to be 20 past 5 minutes late, right? Anybody wants to talk? Questions? That's the end of the 10th chapter on remembrance. Hare Krishna. Yeah, all the time. You can do it 24 hours a day. Like I said, mm. Mm. Yes, you can. Yes. Plus, you got to chant on your beat too. Let's say you finished your 16 rounds or whatever rounds you do, right? The mantra doesn't leave your head immediately. Does it go immediately? Unless you start doing something else, you're concentrating on something else. The mantra remains in your mind, right? It sometimes, like we householders, right? We got so many millions of things to do. Sometimes our mind is deviated to that, those other things. But no, it's not an easy thing to do. Mm. 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 Yeah, oh yeah, it does. Oh yeah, it does. Yes. You bring it back, catch them. Mm. Yeah. Jagannath Swami, he's quoted one line in the Bhagavad Gita, Param Dristva Nivartate, means you got to develop a higher taste. Right? So while you're chanting, that taste will develop while you're chanting on your bead. Right? The taste will develop for chanting Hare Krishna. So when you're chanting Hare Krishna, the only thing you focus is on Hare Krishna. Only the mantra. Don't think of anything else. We're not so advanced that we can think of Krishna's pastimes or whatever, right? We're not that advanced. You focus your mind on you chanting Hare Krishna and you hearing. The first chapter was hearing, isn't it? So you hear. When you're chanting, you hear. Even if you're whispering to, you yourself you can hear, right? But in Kirtan, we can go wild. But when you're chanting, you got to hear. You got to focus on your hearing, the holy name, nothing else. You will develop that, yeah. It's a progression, right? Step by step it is. Right? So if you're chanting 2 rounds now, tomorrow chant 3 rounds. The other day chant 4 rounds, then go up to 16 rounds. I was reading in one of our devotees' books, we shouldn't force people to chant 16 rounds immediately. Right? You all know that, right? Shouldn't immediately. The person coming in for the first time or second time, first time is hearing the mantra. No problem, you got to chant 16 rounds and you will become a human being. No. You chant as much as you can. Right? First you chant like that. As your taste develops, you continue chanting more and more. But the point is to focus your mind on the mantra. It's not easy. Chanchalam himana Krishna. The mind is going all over the place. All over the place. While I'm talking to you all, my mind is going all over the place too. Right? So you got how many minutes? Anybody? 1 minute.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, he says, cause of all causes.
Hare Krishna. So around 1979, 1980, in one of the campaigns, Patar Maharaj said, if you're 18 years old and you met a friend about 16 years old, who are you thinking of? You thinking of her or you thinking of a dog? Obviously, you're thinking of her. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 65, Lord Krishna said, Man mana bhava mad bhakto, madhya jibam namaskaru, mami vaisam si satyamte, patijanya priyasame. Always think of me, worship me, offer your homage unto me, thus you'll come to me without fail. I promise you this, because you're my dear friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu, for that wonderful class. Just a reminder to always be sincere and devoted in your Krishna consciousness. We have a few announcements, so it'll just take a minute or two, and then we will commence with Kirtan while Arti is taking place. One of the announcements is that a reminder of the book distribution marathon that was announced on the last day of Kartik by our temple president. The global goal is let me just get that number right, 42 million Bhagavad Gitas. So that's worldwide target. Let us be part of that goal and we encourage you to take books. Go out there. Srila Prabhupada was very, very pleased when devotees served in the Sankirtan mission. So we encourage you to be part of that goal. Whatever you can do, please connect with the devotees and distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. Another announcement we have is that we're a reminder for our Tuesday Namahata program, the Jagannath Prema Namahata program. We have two very exalted devotees, Srila Prabhupada disciples, that will be attending, and they are Shridu Prabhu, which is Shruti Prabhu, His Grace Shruti Prabhu, who will be coming on the 3rd of December, and Her Grace Urmila Mataji, who will be coming on the 10th of December. So please come through for those Namahata programs on a Tuesday, and those specific days that I mentioned. They are Srila Prabhupada's disciples, and we should take advantage of their association. Thank you so much for your attention, for giving us your association. We apologize for any shortcomings, and we wish you a safe journey going forward. And remember, Krishna consciousness is a daily surrender. We are practicing Vaishnavas, and every day it's a new surrender. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Prasadam will be served after Kirtan down in the hall. Haribo. Hare Krishna. Sorry. Oh, Prabhu is lead Kirtan.
Srila Prabhu. Srila Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Swami Jai Jagannath. Okay. Hare Krishna. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Swami Jai Jagannath. Jagannath Swami Nayana Pathagami, Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu Me. Jagannath Swami Nayana Pathagami, Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu Me. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Swami Jai Jagannath. Jai Baladev, Jai Baladev, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Oh, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Ho Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jai Radhe Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jai Prabhupada Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Rivo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath.
Jagannath,
जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा,
Baladev, Jai Subhadra,
जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा,
Baladev, Jai Subhadra,
जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा,
Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra,
जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ,
Jai Jagannath,
जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ,
Jagannath, Jai Jagannath,
जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा,
Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra,
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग,
Anita Gora,
निताय गौरांग गौर हरे,
Anita Goranga, Gora Hare,
निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग,
Anita Goranga,
निताय गौरांग गौर हरे,
Goranga, Gora Hare,
निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग,
Gorango, Nita Goranga,
निताय गौरांग गौर हरे,
Nita Goranga, Gora Hare.
जय सचिनंदन जय सचिनंदन,
Nandana Jaya Sachidananda,
जय सचिनंदन गौर हरे,
Jaya Sachidananda, Gora Hare.
गौरा गौरा गौर हरे,
Gora, Gora, Gora Hare.
अमर पतित पावन गौर हरे
पतित पावन गौर
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
ओ हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे हो हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरि बोल
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
ओ हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey! Hare Bol.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radhe. Jai Radha, Radha Nath Radha, Radha Nath Radhe. Jai Radhe. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe.
Jai Radha, Sham Sundar Radha, Sham Sundar Radhe.
Shama Sundar Radha, Shama Sundar Radhe.
Jai Radha, Sham Sundar Radha, Sham Sundar Radhe.
Shama Sundar Radha, Shama Sundar Radhe.
Jai Radha, Damodar Radha, Damodar Radhe.
Damodar Radha, Damodar Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki, Sri Krishna Balaram ki, Jai Sri Radha Shyam Sundar ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.